have, or should we just? And the key is somewhere.
He's downstairs getting.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to make them off. Your Honor, I'm gonna be across from it tonight, if it's okay with you.
What are you doing over there?
I don't know what I'm doing. This is my favorite court.
But you put those lines.
I'll put you first, I know you first.
That's true, I'll give you that one.
Okay.
Hurry.
We're good.
All right, so good morning, everyone. Today is Monday. I always say that Mondays, people view them badly, but really Monday is just a chance for new beginnings. So it's a chance to start over, renew. So let's not make this a difficult Monday. Let's keep it a happy Monday, a Monday of renewal. So what I'm going to do first, because I am alternate presiding, and there are some cases that are supposed to be an impact. So those of you who are here, just in case you're supposed to be an impact, I'm going to call you first so you will know. For the attorneys who are on, Michael Teo, Deputy Lord, did I pronounce that right?
Yes, you did.
Look at me learning my double L's. Antonio Melendez with Miguel Hernandez, you're supposed to be an impact. Teo with Andres Campion, impact. Joseph Ramirez with Raymond Martinez, you're supposed to be an impact. Robert Hintnick with Martin Guerra, you're supposed to be an impact. Louis Aguirre with Raymond Martinez, impact. Raul Guerre with Tony Hernandez, an impact. Kendrick Ward with Daniel Wanamaker, impact. All right, those are the people who are supposed to be in impact court. I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, yes?
Sorry, my name's listed in there, but I don't know what impact for myself here.
You're going to go to impact court. It's in the basement, correct? Yes, it's in the basement. When you just take the elevators to the basement, and then once you get off the elevators, go past the cafeteria, make a left. It's a long hallway, and then make an immediate right, and you'll see where it says impact court.
Now, will I be continuing to go down there now instead of here?
Oh, you're going to be in, no, you're going down there for your jury trial.
Today?
Yes.
And my attorney still hasn't even got the paperwork back from the blood draw.
Oh, your attorney will meet you down there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good Monday.
Good.
All right, Jose Alvarado. Jose Alvarado. And sir, I'm going to need you to clear the front row. Rudy Martinez. Rudy Martinez. Vincent Ventura.
Counsel's present. I don't see him. I'll keep looking for him.
Carlos Vargas. Carlos Vargas. And I'm going to give everyone till 9:30 to appear because I know the line outside is long. Joshua Carroll. Robert Andrade. Thank you. Brandon Wright.
Present on Zoom.
All right, thank you. Joseph Martinez is an impact. Daniel Van Duzer. Daniel Van Duzer. Joy McCormick. Thank you. Priscilla Sosa. Priscilla Sosa. Scott Wilbur. Alfredo Puega. Apuega. Apuga. How do you pronounce his last name? Puga. Are we sure that's how you pronounce this last name? I didn't hear any accents thrown there. Deputy Laura, how do you pronounce that last name? All right, thank you. But you pronounced it better. You put the, you know, that. Joshua Crawford. Joshua Crawford. Did I pronounce that last name correctly? Connor Sparks. Javier Medina. Thank you. Thank you. Cassandra Valdez. John Garcia. All right. Melissa Carlson. Celine. How do you pronounce your last name? Monte. All right. I'm never sure if the H is silent or not. Christopher Givens. Christopher Givens. Carlos Vargas. Mary Diaz.
Here for her, she may be stuck in that line after. I believe we're just here on a discovery
Yes.
issue. I'll try getting into.
Jessica Briones. Kia Embry. And I know you're on Zoom, Miss Embry. Just give us a moment. Ian Trevino's in jail. Darren Does. Uriel Sanchez. Uriel Sanchez. All right. Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? All right. We'll start over here. Back row. What's your name? All right. Do you have a case number or SID number? All right. Just give us a moment. Okay. Lavender shirt. All right. Yes.
I'm present today, but I haven't set for tomorrow and I'll schedule.
Okay. We will see what's going on. All right. Anyone else whose name was not called?
Well, I had a Ansolano Carrillo paycheck thing yesterday, but I have one on the docket. Ansolano Carrillo.
All right. Is that case indicted? All right. Then just approach and we'll see what's going on. All right, everyone. These are the rules of the court. I try to keep the well of the court as least congested as possible. So, attorneys, if you need to speak with the state, just grab a file from the box, place it on the desk, have a seat. They will call you in the order in which you'll appear. And then if you want to approach the court, there's a big sign that nobody reads. You just ask the clerk for your file and then take a seat. And trust me, nobody's going to skip on over anybody. This is not a situation where the last will become first unless people want them to skip over them. So we're going to take you in the order in which you'll appear. And since it's so hot in here, I don't have a robe on because otherwise I would pass out. So anyone who wants to complain about the temperature in the 187th, please feel free to do so. I've done it numerous times, but maybe it will come better from coming from people here. All right, please confer. Happy Monday. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, thank you. Hey, I'm loving the pen. I was able to recognize you.
He said tomorrow, I know that. I don't know why he thinks.
Do you see him on the page? Can you pull the file? Let's see what's going on. We'll pull the court's file and see what's happening. Is it indicted?
He does, Judge, he does. I tell you what, text the office.
What's it?
Jacob.
His birthday.
Okay, okay, this is place number.
Okay.
Connor Sparks. Connor Sparks.
Sparks.
Thank you. Oh, you might be in that line. Okay.
Morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Good. So we have Mr. Sparks' case worked out. Basically, I have him plead on his misdemeanor, and dismissing the felony. So with your permission, I'm going to walk him down County 6 and get that plea done.
See, I so admire that you're like not putting off for tomorrow what can be done today. I appreciate that, Woody.
That's what I'm here to do, is to
All right.
get the work done.
All right. Thank you. Then I'll just make a notation and just go down there. And when it's done, just let me know.
Will do, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
I don't know.
What's up, Martin? I was at 19. No, it's not. All things 2020, so I told you I have to take it national.
I'm not.
We filed a continuance on it. I know tomorrow they get like 38. You can speak with me now. You can do this. You can.
Do you need Jacob?
Yes, Jacob. That's yeah. I was like chiming. Well, if you have to leave, it's over by me now. I live over. Okay, brother. They are 6154, I think. She's on 54.
Tomorrow. At 23rd at 9 o'clock.
Well, why is it on the docket? Did I call his name?
No, Josh.
Yeah.
It was one of those. You said it, you said
He
the
just came
22nd
in.
and
That's it.
All right. Can I see? Well, just don't leave yet. Let me see that file because I don't see what's written down in there. All right. Thank you.
Judge, my other client, I think, is stuck in this traffic jam trying to get into the courthouse. So is it okay if I go to 47, 37?
Well, let me see what this is about first. Let's take care of him and then we'll go from there.
So we have him for tomorrow.
Mhm.
I don't know why he's here. Our notification said for tomorrow. Either way, Judge, we filed a continuance
Mhm.
because quite basically everyone apart from me is involved in the Baylor trial that started. They've
Mhm.
started picking a jury
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah, that's set for a jury trial here.
started
No, I mean, his case is set for a jury trial
Probably.
here.
probably.
Okay.
We filed a motion anyway. I'll wait to see what happens. in the file.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Clients do. One is in jail, one is regulated, it's every discussion matter. What's the case, Franco? Missed her call.
Reese?
Yeah. He's in.
Mr. Wright, I'm going to put you in a waiting room and we're going to bring you back in as soon as your attorney's here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Jacob Garcia.
I need to approach the judge on Mr. Carrillo. His case number is 22 CR 5344, and it should be a 45 in there too.
Yes.
All right, I know why you're here today. Today is supposed to be your plea deadline date. And then tomorrow is actually your jury trial. I know you filed a motion for continuance, but I don't know if that trial is going to go or not.
Well, Judge, there was one other issue. I followed up last week. There were some underwear that weren't tested that we had retested by the lab. The serology came back and we're still awaiting DNA. Last week, when I got an email, they said it was still pending. I sent another email just to see if we could get an approximation as to when that would be back.
All right, do you have any idea when?
I haven't received a response yet.
All right, could I get the motion for continuance on this case? Do you have one?
I don't have a copy, Judge. I was expecting it tomorrow, so I've got a copy of motion for another case. But
All right, let's see if we can get it and we can hear this motion for continuance now. He's set today for a plea deadline date.
We're gonna write that.
All right, thank you. And is Brenda gonna be late? Okay. Okay.
Right behind you.
Right, and Cheryl, I know you said, do you have any idea about the practice of the lab or?
I'm not sure. I know they're working on it. So I wouldn't think it would be too much longer. I would look at it back in 30 days.
Okay. All right. And on Garcia, I'm gonna need a 45-day reset and it's gonna be for jury trial. All right. The court is in receipt of the defense's motion for continuance. It's not in the proper format. There's no notarized statement, but State, are you going to have any objection to it not being in the proper format?
We do not, Your Honor.
All right, are you going to, the court reporter isn't present. Is there any objection to us proceeding without the court reporter being present?
Well, from defense, Your Honor.
All right, and she's just running a little bit late because she had a medical appointment. Do you have any objection to their motion for continuance?
We do not, Your Honor.
All right. So I'm going to grant the motion for continuance. And what date will we be coming back?
Wednesday, October, if you can just a second. I can do October 18th.
All right, so your jury trial date and your plea deadline date is going to be October 18th.
October 17th, and they're going down.
Okay, it's going to be October 17th. But you're going to be an impact. And I've granted the motion for continuance, so you don't have to be here tomorrow, but Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, okay? All right, have a great rest of your day. It is 2022 CR 6154. You're welcome. All right, and Norman, can you put on there that that's their jury trial date and plea deadline date? All righty.
Or just up there. It's not up there yet.
Oh, you want to?
I believe
What's
it's
the
Mary
name
Diaz. Mary Diaz.
Here. That's done. All right, and Norman, can you see where Kyle Simpson is and have him zoom in?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who's here on Franco Ruiz?
I'm here then.
All right, and where is Mr. Ruiz?
The box, Judge.
All right, what is happening with this case? Mr. Ruiz, come up, please. Hello, Mr. Ruiz. Hi, so where are we on this case?
Judge, I'm here, loading issue notwithstanding, we're ready for trial.
All right. Mr. Ruiz, your plea deadline date has expired. So after today, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements. The court will only accept a plea from you open to the court or either an agreement only with good cause. Do you understand? I'm sorry? All right. So we're going to see you tomorrow for your jury trial. Is there any clothing issues?
I'll discuss that with Mr. Ruiz. I have not brought him clothing to the jail, but I'll find out what he has, Judge.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, Franco Ruiz is going to come back tomorrow dressed for trial. All right, is there any discovery issues? The court has the discovery acknowledgement.
No, ma'am, that's my knowledge.
All right. Mr. Ruiz, are you going to finish that tattoo or is it finished? It's finished? Okay. All right, thank you.
Judge, I have one other. I don't know if you want to take them out of order or in order.
Oh, I go in order of
Oh, okay.
appearance. Ilana Carrillo. Carrillo. Ayala Carrillo, yes.
Your Honor, I was here on Mr. Accarello. I had a,
Okay, where's your client?
I believe he's in the back. I would like to approach the court on a motion to reinstate bond. They just retained yesterday. He's been in custody.
All right, well, let's wait till your client comes out. Oh, he's in the box.
Oh,
All right, you want to confer with this? No, just have a seat in the box. Have you conferred with the state?
yes, they didn't express any objection, but he just, the prosecutor I was talking to, I guess he just went downstairs for the impact. So,
All right, just give us a moment.
yes, sir.
Thank you. Ian Trevino. You guys need to switch. Has he pled to the misdemeanor?
He's doing that tomorrow. That's why I wanted to talk to you. You recalled it for today. But I could not get him on the docket last week. Next time we'll put on the docket for tomorrow.
Okay.
And I will bring, I've already talked to the prosecutors. As soon as he pleads, I will approach them and they'll dismiss this case.
And which court is this?
County Court 13.
And they can't do this today?
I tried last week to get it on Friday's docket, Monday's docket, and they told me no, Tuesday.
Let me just see. Because I'd hate for him to have been brought over only to have to come back again tomorrow.
I think it'll be on Zoom tomorrow.
Okay.
TIC this case for the MTR and. I mean, I think this is more. I would feel differently for sure.
All right, let's do this. If you can go downstairs and let her know that he's here, and if they want to do it by Zoom, we can get it done by Zoom today. If not, I'll recall it for tomorrow, but I hate for the deputies to transport somebody over just for us to bring him back tomorrow.
I understand, Your Honor.
All right, so let's, Mr. Trevino, if you have a seat in the box, and if you can let me know.
I will.
All right, thank you.
Anyone?
I'll be here, Martino, signature in the bottom.
Javier Medina. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Mr. Medina, hi, what are we doing with your case?
I'm going to reset it. I need to have an investigator check out some things that we talked about this morning.
An investigator on possession less than a gram?
Yes. Some of the things you expressed to me are not at all consistent with the police report, and I need to do that.
All right, who's the state on Javier Medina? It's possession less than a gram. All right, so what is happening with this case?
We haven't heard. Did you speak in?
No, I read the office.
So, okay, if you guys confer, because I require that everyone confer, and then we'll come back. Thank you.
You know what the MTR.
All right, Mary Diaz, everyone, please make sure your phones are off. All right, so where are we on Miss Diaz's case?
Judge, I've been kind of going back and forth with the detective on this case because she thinks she's provided stuff and I'm not understanding. I'm actually going out to homicide today at 2 p.m. We're finally able to get a time to meet with her to go over. There's just some discrepancy of whether I got the full Google Docs. I'm sorry, the Google search warrant return, as well as the USAA banking records, because she believes that she's provided them, and then I'm just not understanding what she's provided essentially. So, other than that, I believe we have some EMS records that are outstanding, but we've been.
Okay, EMS records have been outstanding since last
I know
month.
we had to re-request them because they didn't have our subpoena, apparently, and last that I talked to Marina, it was last week, she followed up and hadn't gotten a response yet. But I mean, that's not the crux of our case. More, I mean, the Google Docs are important, as well as the USAA banking records.
All right. So this is what's going to end up happening. I'm going to reset this for 30 days. I'm not resetting this case again for discovery. On the 30-day, the reset date that you have, if there's discovery missing, then somebody needs to subpoena whatever witness they need to subpoena for that 30-day reset that I'm going to give you.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset for discovery. We need to set this so they'll have time to have a hearing if it's needed.
Judge, can I ask you now, we have a trial date, I don't recall, but I know it's somewhere.
It's October 3rd.
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask in advance, we got some real tight windows now, that trial date get pushed out? One, for that reason. Two, because I've begun negotiations with the administration about the possibility of resolution. And I know that process takes a long time as well. And I should have done it months ago, but if you could give me at least another 30 days from that current trial date in light of everything that we're discussing, I would feel it appropriate and I would appreciate it.
All right, we're going to see where we are. We're going to keep that trial date, but we're going to see where we are with this 30-day reset.
Okay.
I can do 26.
September.
No, we can't do it the week of the 19th. Okay. So it's gonna be September 19th. So whomever you all need to subpoena for discovery, if it isn't all turned over, then it needs to be done.
Yes, Judge, I apologize to the court. I've been trying to work with the executive to get this nailed down. But hopefully this afternoon I'll have better answers from Mr. Turner.
Okay. All right, you'll get a reset form. You're welcome.
And she was in that long line that you referred to. She is here just to clear that up. So
All right, no, I understand about the line.
good to go. I'll be in touch.
Wait. She need to sign something wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Who is here on Esperanza Marino?
Here, Your Honor,
And where is Esperanza Marino?
right here.
All right, have you conferred with the state?
Yes. It was Ryan, and I don't know where.
All right, state, are you going to be in agreement to her request for a PR bond?
Did you discuss with Ryan?
He just said it's your name.
Okay, Judge, I haven't had a chance to review it. If I could have a few minutes.
Sure. And do you have a copy of the PR bond?
I don't.
Okay, I'll give you my copy. You're welcome. And Norman, can you see where Kyle Simpson is?
I'll put you this afternoon, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
You can get him here. Oh, really?
Hello. Yes, it,
Is that for his own good?
thank you. All right. And if you could step back.
Okay,
behind the
I'll be down the
line.
hall. Good.
Thank you.
I'll be-
And Michael Trevino.
Hey, he's downstairs. I'm gonna go.
I'm sorry, not you. Javier Medina. Hello. All right, so defense, you have all the discovery in this case,
I do believe so.
and has an offer been tendered?
It has.
All right, and was an offer previously tendered?
Yes, sir.
All right. And so, Mr. Medina, are you rejecting the state's offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, today is your plea deadline date, so that's expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case. The court will only accept pleas that are open to the court unless there's good cause for the court to accept the plea bargain agreement. You understand? All right. Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Mr. Medina. How long do you expect this jury trial to last?
1 day.
All right, for 1 day. We could probably squeeze it in with family violence. If they're in jury trial, we could probably select 2 juries.
Is it a less than a grand?
Yes, okay.
You can come back on.
All right. And come back on August 30th for your jury trial. And if you, I'm not saying you're going to be found guilty. I don't know anything about the facts of this case, but you do have to make an election for punishment if you were to be found guilty. Defense, do you know if he were found guilty, who would he go to for punishment?
We haven't discussed.
All right, so if you could do that before you leave today, And Ms. Ferguson, that'll be August 30th for jury trial. Thank you.
You go. I'll be 13 years.
Can I see Joy McCormick?
One of my attorneys not present.
Oh, no, I know that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Your attorney has a vacation letter on file,
Oh, okay.
so we're gonna come back on your case on August 25th, and the coordinator will give you a reset form.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay. So Ms. Hutland, do y'all have an agreement on the PR bond?
Yes, he said he would agree with GPS if we could get fees waived because she's unemployed and she lives with her father at 1705 San Francisco.
Okay, all right, Ms. Marino, if you can come forward. And what is going to be happening with these other cases?
I haven't had a setting yet on those. They are out of 6. We're set for
Well,
tomorrow.
I mean, the unauthorized use.
Only have 1.
Yes,
So what are we gonna do with it?
yes.
We haven't talked about that, just here on the PR bond. Your Honor.
Okay, you guys want to confer on that? Because, yes, so confirm that and then I'll hear this. People communicate. It's always
Your
fun.
Honor, we're here for a PR bond. You caught me off guard. It's a July 27th case.
Yeah.
22 CR 3022.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
On my client, Mr. Wilbur, we just got the acceptance into the PTD program. We got that late Friday.
Okay, where's your client?
He's right here. Cut. You gonna come up?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna take him to the office and sign paperwork, send it in today.
Okay. So it hasn't been signed.
No, Judge, we just got it on Friday. I just informed him today, this morning, that we would have been accepted.
All right, I need a 30 days reset on Wilbur Scott for PTD.
The 19th.
All right. So we'll be back on September 19th and you'll get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson.
Of course, Judge. Obviously, if, once we send the paperwork, that date should just go away, because he will already be in the program, right?
Oh, no, he has to come back because we need to see what the status of it is. And of course, if he's completed everything, then they'll give me a dismissal.
They are running behind, so just come back on the 19th.
Okay.
They're behind on PTG.
He's already been accepted.
Yeah, but still.
Okay. See, it's been a while since a client of mine has been accepted in the PTD, so that's why it's a little confusing. I thought the part of the PTD was the motion to continuance to allow him to complete, because it's 9 months.
Oh, no, here's the thing. I like to do a checkup. Because if somebody falls off the radar with their PTD, then guess what? We don't have a reset till 9 months and we're wondering what's going on. And I don't anticipate that taking 9 months.
No.
So there we
No, he's
go.
already done the class ahead of time, so it's just community service at this point.
Yes.
Uh,
All righty.
okay, good.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Ayala Carrillo.
Let me get my
Carrillo?
calendar.
All right, just as soon as your attorney comes back, we'll take it up.
They're gonna send another text message to Kyle.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Can you put this in the Medina file then?
Yes.
All right.
Excuse you.
Yes, thank you. Have a great one.
You too.
Bye-bye. Bye, Mr. Medina. You're welcome. And Miss Emery, we're just waiting for your attorney. I'm sorry. Sure.
All right.
It's a great Monday. Thank you. All right, everyone, please be seated.
All right, any update on Mr. Simpson?
They just said that, his assistant said he texted him this morning about doing it.
Mhm.
And then he'll re-text him again to let him know he needs to do it.
All right, I'll give him till 10.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's the weird.
Or actually.
All right, your attorney is signing in, Miss Embry. Well, at least he was. Now he's not here. So we shall see. I know, I brought them. I know they're there.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right. Are you ready to confer with your client, Mr. Simpson?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Embry, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Now, Pretrial.
Yes.
On that case, Connor Sparks,
Mhm.
we went down, completed the state's misdemeanor file is not ready. They are rush filing it. We're gonna come in tomorrow morning and do it.
Okay,
I just wanted to let you know, that's the plan. We're on track, but it's not gonna happen today.
all right. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a reset form for Connor Sparks for tomorrow? Thank you.
Judge, would you like us to come here first tomorrow or just go plead it and then?
Just
come
go
in?
plead first. No. Yes.
I just came back from County Court 13. They're in the middle of the trial called Docket, and they said they cannot do it today. Judge Gonzalez said she was going to send you an email.
Okay, all right, let me check. Thank you for going down to see if it was possible. I always say, don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today.
Right, I tried.
All right, so the email I've received is saying that they need all the paperwork signed beforehand.
They told me they wouldn't do it today.
No. She said she'll do it tomorrow, but
Yes,
they need all the paperwork beforehand.
right. And that's what we were planning on doing. He's already scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay, but no, what she's saying and the way I'm reading this email, which I'm reading it literally. What she's saying is that before they will do a plea tomorrow,
Mhm.
the paperwork needs to be finished before tomorrow.
Okay. As soon as I get it, I will do it.
All right. State on Ian Trevino.
Yes, sir.
I just received an email from the judge in 13. And the way I read this email is that they're going to need paperwork completed by Adobe Sign before tomorrow in order to do the plea tomorrow. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Just one moment, you need to get a reset form.
Well, when he pleads tomorrow, this will be dismissed. So
Yeah, but he needs a reset form for tomorrow because I don't have a crystal ball. Things always tend to happen. Ian Trevino.
$30.
You're in custody.
Yes.
All right, does 13 know he's in custody?
Yes, they do.
All right, so that plea paperwork is going to have to be completed today. Otherwise, what I'm reading is they're not going to do your plea tomorrow. Do you understand? All right, so Ms. Ferguson on Trevino, we're going to recall him back for tomorrow afternoon. So hopefully his plea will be done in the morning. And then if it's completed, he won't come here.
Thank you.
Okay.
So you want to read that one or?
No, so he's in custody, that's fine.
Right. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Simpson.
Yes, Judge, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Can I confer with the prosecutor, please, on Miss Embry?
All right, we'll give you a moment because we only have one prosecutor, so put some patience in your pocket and they'll be with you as soon as they can.
All righty, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, who's here on Daniel Van Duzer? All right, and where is Mr. Van Duzer? Yes. All right, so I show on the file that you've already received an offer.
Yes, I have, Judge.
Okay. In which case are we proceeding on?
Well, we did the discovery acknowledgement on the arson,
Okay.
Judge, which is the B case.
Okay,
And the other case, we had an inquiry about something that Marcus is going to check on it for
Okay.
us.
all righty. And so that's not going to change your
It's not,
the offer or anything.
no, it's not. gonna change.
All right, and if you were going to trial, I'm assuming you proceed on the arson first? Okay. All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset for a plea deadline date on Mr. Van Duzer, please. All right, so we're going to come back on September 19th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the offer that has been tendered by the state. If you choose not to accept the offer, then your next step will set you for jury trial. And of course, if you reject their offer, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements unless there's good cause for it. Otherwise, you'll plea open to the court. Do you understand? All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. Oh, there's a, I don't know what that is. Yes. I'm sorry, could I see that file one more time? Just give me a moment. Yeah. Okay. Here you go. Yes,
Matt, get a little bit closer.
yes.
Don't give me cooties, I promise. Appreciate if you let me.
We're live, by the way, so.
I want to be live.
Sure. Thank you. Who's your client?
The one who just got accepted.
Okay. Let me see the file on Joshua Crawford. Oh, let me see. I don't think I still have, oh, I have it here. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Joshua Crawford. Come forward. Oh, I'm blind.
Let's get right here.
Yeah. That's- So how old are you?
I'm 17.
17.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you graduated from high school?
I'm about to be,
So what are you doing in felony court?
I made a mistake.
Mm-mm. If obviously you've been here before, and I know you've heard it, you didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. And guess what? There are consequences for choices. Sometimes people think there are no consequences for their choices. They think, let me apologize, and then all will be right with the world. Once you are able to walk and talk, let me apologize, that doesn't eliminate consequences. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you hanging around with people you shouldn't be hanging around with? All right. And I'll tell you about that too. People come before me and you know what they say? I was hanging around with a bad crowd. And that's what their parents will tell me too. Oh, my son, my daughter was hanging around with a bad crowd. And you know what I tell those parents? If I were to talk to those other parents, you know what they would say? My child was hanging around with a bad crowd. And I'll say, well, who's the bad crowd? And you know what they tell me? You. So here's the thing. You see everybody over there in that box in orange? Do you want to wear an orange outfit?
No.
And let me give you a few home truths about the Bexar County Jail. When you go to the Bexar County Jail and you get an orange outfit, you don't get to choose and say, well, I'm a regular, or I want long because I'm tall. What ends up happening, and I'm sure they can tell you, when they put the laundry in the machine, all of it goes in together. You don't get to say, I don't want my laundry with his. And you know what underwear you get? Whatever underwear comes out of the laundry. You don't get to say, well, my name is on that pair. You understand? So you're going to have to make better choices. Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with consequences where you could be at the Bexar County Jail or you could be at the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did your parents raise you right? You're disappointing them. You're breaking their heart. My mom always says, nobody can break your heart the way a child can break your heart. So don't break your parents' heart. You understand? They dress you, they feed you, they're being nice to you, you have a place to stay, and then you do this. So do you have a car?
No, ma'am.
Are they making you take the bus?
I just get a ride with a friend usually.
You know what? I think that children need to learn how to take the bus more. You know, when I got a car, take a while, yes. When I got a job and I bought one, I didn't get a car as a gift for my parents. It was, you walk to school, or either you take the bus to school. And guess what? And your attorney will tell you this. When I first started practicing here, do you think I had a car? Nope. You know what I did? I took the VIA bus. Now, it turned out taking the VIA bus was sort of good for me because I got a lot of clients from being on the VIA bus. But I tell you that to tell you that struggle in your life is good. And you got to think long run, long term. What can happen if I make bad choices? Because when you make bad choices, you just made your life more difficult. As a student, my mom always said, going to school is really your job because you're there for a long length of time. You're there for like 8 or 9 hours. And she would always give us a break when we got home because she's like, you've been at work all day, which was true. But your life right now is so simple because all your parents want from you is to go to school and do your lesson. You don't have to worry about a bill. I'm sure you don't have to pay a mortgage. I'm sure you don't have to pay utilities. That's all you have to do. I don't know why children make life so difficult. And even for adults, life is so simple. Just follow the rules. Now, if you talk to my mom, she'll say I was a perfect child. And guess what? My mom always tells the truth. So I was a perfect child. Hey, there shouldn't be no laughter. I was the perfect child. But I never bucked the system. And I liked having rules because I know if I stay within the rules, there'll be no problems. My mom gave me a curfew. Guess what? I'm at home before curfew because you know why? I wouldn't want the lecture that I'm giving you right now. That's all you have to do. Your life is so simple. Just follow the rules. You don't have to worry about any bills. And you don't have to worry about, hey, what am I doing on Monday or Tuesday? You know you're going to school or coming to court. You understand? So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I wanted to go into the Marines.
Oh, hey, well, you're gonna have to talk louder if you're gonna be in the Marines. So are you trying to get in shape for that?
Yes, ma'am.
And I say that because I was offered to go into the military when I was in undergrad. Of course, going to the military would have been great because I wouldn't have ended up with school loans. But I was like, do I have to run? And they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to run. You're gonna have to do sit-ups. But they're like, you'll be a lieutenant because you'll have your degree and everything. I was like, I'm gonna pass. Maybe that was a good choice. Maybe not. Some days I regret it. But we have to live with our choices, okay? All right, so I don't want to see you back here again unless you're coming in with your attorney, inviting me to your graduation or inviting me to your graduation from the Marines. And here's the thing about the Marines that you have to realize, because I have relatives who've been in the military. They will put you in a room to help you out with the tear gas situation. And so they have you put on your mask. And when you put on your mask, they let loose the tear gas and they say, is everybody breathing okay? And then you know what they make you do? Take off the mask and sing the national anthem. You know why they do that? So you'll know that your mask needs to be in order. These are just things to consider. And they do that in every branch. You understand? All right, good luck. I don't want to see you back here, like I say, unless you're coming in just to say hi, or you're inviting me to some graduation from somewhere, and I'll show up. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So, yes, when are we coming back for his PTD, Norma? What date? All right, we're going to be back on September 19th. Make good choices.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. I can't believe people, Michael Villarreal, I can't believe people didn't think I was the perfect child. I'm shocked by it all.
People just don't really, know all the facts sometimes.
All right, are you guys ready on Esperanza Marino?
No.
Oh, all right, you guys are not ready, Valerie. All right, who is here on Carrillo? Yes, okay, so what is happening on Carrillo? Are you guys still confirmed?
Still approach on that prior matter.
All right, so I'll wait till y'all finish everything. Everyone put some patience in your pocket. It's going to be a great day. And Mr. Simpson, as soon as a prosecutor is available, they will come join you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome.
Judge, have a great day.
All right, you two have a good one. Tell everyone I said hello.
I will.
I'm loving that. You're welcome. I'm loving the tie combination.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Bye.
I get too, so we're doing a motion to amend. You want me to just turn it in with the paperwork?
Oh, yeah.
Just show it paper.
Oh, you're ready? Okay. All right, Brittany, you did a stealth move. I didn't see you over there. All right. Okay, where is Esperanza Marino? All right, come on down. All right, so where are we on the case and where are we on the application for a PR bond? Let's start with where we are in the case.
Judge, on the case, I made an offer. There is some discovery missing that Valerie noticed today that I'll request today.
Okay. And
Shouldn't take more than a couple weeks to get it. It's a 911 call and an IDR.
okay, and I was just asking because I know that this court only does indicted cases, but I saw that this was a state jail felony. So I hope that would help expedite things for you, okay? So where are we on the application for a PR bond?
We have an agreement, Judge. We agreed to a PR bond with GPS.
Okay,
If we can waive fees, Your Honor, since she does not have employment at this current time.
all right, I'll waive fees on that and waive fees on the PR bond as well. But here's the thing, Miss Marino, let me just tell you what happens. It hasn't happened in this court because I've never given instruction to people on this, because usually a PR bond is granted at the county magistrate's level. So it never comes to me for a granting of the PR bond. But let me just tell you what I've seen. People get PR bonds and then they disappear. They don't show up for court. And that becomes a problem because even though you're on a PR bond, you're supposed to appear. And when people don't appear for court and they're on a PR bond, more likely than not, they end up getting remanded without bond. You understand? So do you have a place to stay? All right. Is your correct address in the system? Can you make sure you get her address to make sure her correct address is in the system?
1705 San Francisco.
Oh, no. I mean,
Okay, yes, and it does match the PR bond, the pretrial report. She has several addresses listed, Your Honor, but the 1705 San Francisco is her father's address where her 4 kids and her father reside.
All right. Is Child Protective Services involved in your life? All right. I need you to take your mask down so I can hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Is there going to be drug issues with you? Now, mind you, I'm not saying any of this is true. If there's no drug issues, why do I see all of these cases? Now, I noticed that they've been dismissed, but why are you having all of these cases?
It was just previous relationship that I've been got into it, and then they just there was
But I'm looking at your history. Now, mind you, I'm going to follow your agreement, but I'm trying to figure out what conditions to set for you so that 1, you'll be successful in life, and 2, you'll show up for court when you're supposed to. You understand? So if you tell me you have a drug problem, then the only thing I'm going to do for you is I'm going to set up a treatment plan for you so we can address that issue. You understand? So what I'm looking at your history, and mind you, it was dismissed, but we got the fraudulent use of identifying information. We got a theft of a vehicle, burglary of a vehicle, possession case, unauthorized use, another fraudulent use, and another unauthorized use where you pled guilty to that. So I'm trying to figure out what is your issue? What's going on?
my previous relationship that I was with. Every time we would get into it, and I ended up being hard to get or I would go to work and I wouldn't get back on time or it's stolen.
All right, why are they requesting that she go to Haven for Hope? Does her father want her living with him?
I have asked her that several times and she says yes.
Well, no, it's not. I mean, you may live there, but the question is, does your father want you there? Because it appears to me that you have a lot of chaos in your life and children do not need chaos. And there's a reason why your children are with your father as opposed to being with you. And I know that reason is not just because you're at the Bexar County Jail. Usually it's because there's some kind of drug issue going on, or usually somebody has chosen their man or their woman over their children. So how old are your children?
19, 16, 15, and 10.
All right. Yes, I'm not going to allow her to live with her father. I mean, unless her father provides the court with a notarized statement, or either her father comes in and tells me that he wants her there, I'm not going to allow you to stay there. You understand? So you're going to have to go to, they're recommending Haven for Hope. And they will transport you from the jail to Haven for Hope, which is what I'm going to have them do, because there's something else going on here that you're not telling me. It's all right. Let me just tell you what I tell everybody else. You're saying, you know, it's the boyfriend or it's the husband, whoever it is. But one thing I know for sure, if you hang around a barbershop at some point in time, even though you don't intend to, you're going to end up getting a haircut, whether you need it or not. You understand? So there's something else going on with you that you're not telling me, because there's no reason why your father would have your children. You understand? All right.
They allow GPS runner at Haven for Hope. I would assume so,
Yes.
as long as
Yes.
it's a reportable address.
Yes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Haven for Hope, and Haven for Hope is actually going to pick you up from the facility. And Marcus, when do you think you'll have all the information for her?
Within 2 weeks. Judge.
Okay.
More than that. I'll do it for today.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, can you give them a reset for 3 weeks? And I'm going to have you actually sign the reset form, so there will be no excuse about you not appearing in 3 weeks. You understand? All right, so we're going to come back on September 15th, and I'll fill out this application with Pretrial Services. And I'm going to have them do drug testing. So I'm sure it's supposed to be negative, because that's what you're telling me, that you don't need any help, right? And if your father provides the court with information that he wants you to live in the home, then the court will reconsider.
And Your Honor, I can prepare an affidavit, correct, and bring it to you and.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm going to put in here, there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. So if you want to see your children, your father will have to be present to supervise. You understand?
She just said you can see. Unsupervised.
And I'm going to do drug testing. I'll waive the fees, and it's going to be random. All right. Is there any mental health issues or anything of that
Not I
nature?
can tell yet, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, as far as the PR bond for the misdemeanor cases, you'll have to,
I think she's on bond unless they filed in a revocation.
okay. All righty,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. You can give that to Deputy Laura. All right, on Puga. Yes, and Mr. Puga, if you can come forward.
I believe we were correct, Judge. You were stuck in the line trying to get through the security this morning.
All right.
Just over the door.
So has an offer been extended in this case?
Let me double check, Judge, I believe.
Judge, it's not my case, Mr. LaHood, so I don't want to misspeak.
Oh, no, the state's gonna let me know if an offer has been tendered.
It doesn't appear so at this point, Judge.
All right, so are you prepared to make an offer?
I can, Judge, if you give me a couple minutes.
All right, if you'll make an offer, and then what I'm gonna do, once that offer is tendered, I'll give you your reset for a plea deadline date.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, what date is the plea deadline date gonna be? 30 days. Okay, so your plea deadline date is gonna be September 19th. What that means is that after that point, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements unless it's open to court or for good cause. Do you understand? All right, just make sure you get the offer.
Let me know where it is. What's the name? Korea.
All right, who is on Celine Anta?
Juante, Judge.
Wanta? Wante?
Juante.
Wante, okay.
She might already have it up.
I have it.
I can mail it.
All right, so what is happening with this case?
Judge, in the first setting, I've conferred with Mr. Sanders. He has extended an offer that we're taking under advisement. We would request a plea deadline setting so that we can discuss it in branches.
All right, do you have all the discovery?
I believe so, Judge.
All right, Ms. First, can I have a 2-week reset on Wanta for a plea deadline date, please? All right, we'll be back on September 12th. On September 12th, you need to let the court know whether or not you accepted the state's plea bargain agreement. That will be your plea deadline date. After that, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Do you understand? All right, Ms. Ferguson, we'll give you a reset.
Thank
form.
you, Judge.
You're welcome. Carrillo? All right, just have a seat. We'll wait for your attorney to come back. All right, Jessica Briones.
Sorry, it looks like this kid just stepped out.
All right, and just one moment. This is not her complete file. Where's the other file? She has 2. They're supposed to stay together because the state re-indicted. Mhm.
Thanks.
That's okay. It's going to take us a while because we have to get her other file.
Sorry,
I said it's going to take a little bit of time because we need to get her other file. Briones, we need her other file.
She's here.
No, she's here. I need the other court's file.
Oh, her other, I'm sorry, Judge, I said get her on the phone.
No,
I'm getting deafer and deafer as.
that's okay. I was thinking maybe my southern accent was coming out.
I'm sorry, I was. People want to find some other,
Okay.
but I'll.
Okay. All right. Isaiah Ramirez, let me see.
Working on.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that attorney needs to file a motion to withdraw.
Okay.
All right, Brianna's. All right, your client needs to come forward. All right. So this case is set for jury trial on the 30th. But I have a judicial conference that's starting on September 6th. And my understanding is that this case is going to last longer than a week, I'm assuming.
That's what we believe, Your Honor.
Yeah, I think so too, Judge.
Okay, so if nobody has any objection, I'll move it, or either Judge Her will be here to try.
I'm sorry.
I said I will move it if no one has any objection, or either Judge Her will try it.
I prefer to move it, Judge, just because I've got an issue. I think I mentioned to the court
Mhm.
last week when we talked about this. I've got an issue with transportation for my expert. And I still don't know how to deal with that, Judge. I don't know, since.
What's the transportation issue?
Well, he needs to be here. He's in Florida. And I don't know, like, how to get him on a plane.
What do you mean, how to get him on a plane?
Well, I don't know what plane tickets are gonna cost, Judge, but I don't have the money to advance
Mhm.
a plane ticket, hotel, all that,
Okay.
and then wait for the auditor's office to
Mhm.
get around to reimbursing me. So
Okay.
and yet airlines are not gonna, well, I don't know. I don't know if the county has an account with the
Mhm.
airlines or how that works.
All right.
And Judge, as far as getting another date, we would prefer that as well, just because based on our conversations with the court and defense, we were under the understanding that it was going to be moved to a later date. And that's what we told our witnesses.
Okay.
So, and rather than have two different judges in the case.
All right. So how long do you all expect this trial to last?
At least a week. It could be up to 2 weeks.
And Judge, I think our case will last probably 2 days.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Brianna's. And they're thinking it's gonna last maybe a week and a half, maybe.
Judge, we were eyeing, depending on how the court feels about it, I talked to defense, maybe a date in October. I know Marina was concerned that it's her understanding and Daryl's that RC Curtis is likely to go on to the 20th, or start the 20th of September, and she didn't want that to run into Brianna's.
Mhm. All right, Ms. Ferguson, a date, please. And October.
And Judge, the only problem I have with October, well, yeah, I've got one that's set October 10th in Judge Moore's court. I'd actually rather try this one if the court wanted to set it, on the 10th.
All right,
This is an older case than
All
Judge
right.
Moore's.
Ms. Ferguson,
I can do October 25th.
are we not able to do October 10th?
October 10th is actually criminal trial date. We have no others.
Judge, I think John Polly and I had talked about the 18th. I don't know how the.
Well, and we did, and then I checked my calendar and realized that Judge Moore's court, I'm set the week before. It may even take through the 18th, and I don't want to set this one and then not be able to.
Well, what date did you want that? What date did you want that?
The 10th.
But what case is set with criminal trial division for the 10th? All right, so October 10th. All right, so that will be a jury trial.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and Ms. Ferguson, can you have Let them know they have our jury here on October 10th. And how long do y'all expect for voir dire?
I would anticipate this one will take a while, maybe an hour to an hour and a half.
What, an hour to have each side?
Yes.
Yeah, an hour. I'll give each side an hour.
I would ask for longer, Judge, but I can always ask, you know.
All right, and Norma, let them know we're gonna need extra jurors and see if the central jury room will be available. We usually have 75. So let's see if we can do 90 if possible.
I'll call today and I'll let them know in advance.
And Judge, I do have a trip scheduled to Port Aransas. I know this case needs to be tried, so if I need to move it, that's fine. You know, with the court and defense could do the 25th, but if not, then. I'm supposed to go to Port Aransas.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's Columbus Day, the kids are home from school, but.
oh,
Yeah, I mean, I know this case, we need to try it as well.
the only issue I have, Judge, I can't really try two in a month.
Yeah.
They're both capital murders. They're both.
All right, okay. All right, she'll give you the reset form.
I'm sorry.
She'll give you the reset form.
Thanks, Judge.
She needs to sign the reset
Oh, I'm
form.
sorry.
All right, who's here on Carrillo? And Marcus, Cal Simpson is waiting to speak with you in a breakout room. I don't know if you're able to speak with him by phone.
I'm not in a breakout room. I'm in the main room, Judge. The breakout room had my client in it.
Okay, all right. Future so bright, you gotta wear shades.
Yeah, that's right. You guys got the lights turned up real good over there.
All right, Mr. Sanders will call you on the phone.
Can I log off, I guess, right now?
Oh, if you're on your phone, then you don't have to log off. Just answer it and it will immediately blacken this screen and go on mute for us.
All
Okay,
right, thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. All right, what is happening with Carrillo?
Judge, we conferred, basically needs time to contact one of the witnesses prior to a offer being tendered that we would hope would maybe wrap this up, Judge. My client's been in custody since the, well, if it pleases the court, we had a motion to recall a judge's warrant and reinstate bond. It's on file on both of the cases.
Okay, why wasn't Mr. Carrillo? Come forward.
And I don't know, did the court have a copy?
No, I do not. But here's my question.
Yes,
Why wasn't he here?
Your Honor, defendant failed to appear in court in person on the 1st of August due to confusion regarding Zoom. He had previously not missed any court dates, and there was some miscommunication between him and his previous attorney.
Wait, what do you mean confusion regarding Zoom? I mean,
Whether or
we're
not he
in
had to be-
court.
Sorry.
I mean, no. People appear in court. What confusion regarding Zoom?
My understanding was communication issues between him and his previous counsel. I was retained on this case this weekend. So there was issues between whether or not he needed to be here in person or via Zoom on the 1st. He was supposed to be here in person. And the warrant was put out. He didn't know the warrant was there. Also, he had not missed any previous court dates, Your Honor. And he doesn't have any cases or ever had any cases out of county.
But
so,
he did.
but I would also, Mr. Carrillo, or if you please the court, if I could.
No, but here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
He had till 3, he didn't appear by 3 p.m. I wrote it in here. Defendant no show 3 p.m.
And my understanding is your attorney did not communicate it'll be clear and keep it, well, she hasn't put you under oath yet, but I don't know if she will. But you weren't here, you said, because there's communication, not being able to speak with your attorney, you didn't know of the dates. Is that correct? That's what he's saying about his previous attorney. And there were some issues, but I'm not gonna get into that with his previous counsel. I'm not gonna cast any aspersions on previous counsel. Well, basically revolved around payment.
All right, who's your previous counsel?
Mr. Cisneros.
Johnny Cisneros?
Yes.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're
I'm
going,
not saying, like I said, I'm gonna be clear, Judge.
Yeah,
I'm not
I know,
saying one way
yeah.
or the other.
all right. So here's my question. Where are we on this case?
Mr. Sanders, basically the only delay is the time he needs to contact a witness, correct?
Yes, sir.
Or a potential witness.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna recall this on Thursday and I'll consider your motion to reinstate the bond on Thursday. So we'll come back on Thursday.
Does that work for you, Mr. Sanders?
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson,
Not-
this case is gonna come back on Thursday, the 25th.
Would the clerk consider setting a bond, or we just want to just take the whole thing up there?
Take everything up on Thursday.
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Oh. Your Honor, is
Yes.
there a way to just, it's an off docket matter or something else? I mean, I could talk about it in open court, it doesn't bother me, but
Okay, what is it on?
it's. Are you familiar with the Lenny Chair instance?
No.
Okay, I probably should just approach that.
Okay, all right,
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
yes.
They went in on this. Again, just yesterday or the day before. Including the motions. But it is written.
All right, Robert Andrade. All right, yes, where are we?
Judge, I was able to speak to the complainant on the case and then calling to get through. And ensure the court where it's talking cases based on new reports. Going through the reports again, there's other multiple reports listed, and so if the state's attention to the point that we will be re-indicting the case. And hopefully we'll be able to do that tomorrow, with additional allegations within the indictment. Yeah, I've told Mr. Martinez this, and I believe he's communicated with his client. And regardless, even indicting or not indicting, I don't, in conversation doesn't look like it's going to be.
All right, so we're gonna come back tomorrow for jury trial, and then if it's dismissed, then it's dismissed.
It's a-
All right, so you need to be back tomorrow for jury trial.
If it gets dismissed today, Judge, can I excuse me?
Yes.
No, just.
All right, Andrade is coming back tomorrow for jury trial. And everyone give me a 5-minute break. Let's place this on mute. Yes.
I talked to Oscar Salinas already about this.
Oh, there's a line.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yes. I talked to Oscar Salinas about this already. So basically you granted this protective order so that I could have access to the probation file. And I wanted to file a writ of habeas corpus in this case and attach 2 documents from that probation file. And so I wanted to get permission to see if I could attach those to the habeas writ outside of the protective order or with a special grant on the protective order in the habeas case. And Oscar didn't have any opposition to me doing that.
Okay, why are we doing this way?
Why am I doing this?
Yes.
Because I want to attach these as exhibits to the writ of habeas corpus because it relates to my argument.
What the exhibits, the protective order exhibit as an exhibit?
There's 2 pages out of the chronos in his probation file that I wanted to attach to the writ. They're not, they don't relate to anybody's name, any juvenile's name or anything like that. It goes to the argument of it. I just didn't want to do that without with violating the protective order, basically.
He was the one where you're like, it's worse. He was a kid in high school. He was popular. I gotta read the news.
Sure.
Should I just handwrite something on a protective order about these 2 pages or is that acceptable to, it's fine with it and I won't be violating the protective order. That's the only concern I have.
Yes, no, you can have that file because it doesn't mention the complainant's name or any of that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Do you want me to take that file back?
All right, so we'll be back on, what date is this scheduled for?
29.
29th. All right, see you back on the 29th.
Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.
Do you want me to take that back?
He's not on. Docket.
Oh, no, they'll take it.
Thank you.
You're on a member?
Yes.
I have someone who's not on today's docket. She is a pre-indicted case. A possession of a controlled substance. Essentially, they found her in high school with a vape. It's still pre-indictment.
Are you requesting a bond? What are you requesting?
I'm requesting her to be able to go to college in Grand Canyon University in Arizona.
All right, have you spoken to the state?
Yeah, I just spoke to them right now.
Okay.
And I do have a hair follicle drug test in June and July, which has her as negative. And then I had a UA the day after the incident that was negative.
So do they have any objection? Okay.
It's the motion, Your Honor. I don't have an order.
Yeah, I need an order.
So do you want me to, you file it or just come back with an order? What's
You
easy?
can come back with an order.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Brenna, are you ready? Court is calling 2022 CR 5846, State of Texas versus Sabian Robles. Can I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal, the state.
Orlando Castellon for defense.
All right, and are you Sabian? Is it Robles or Rosales?
Robles.
I put the wrong name.
That's okay. And are you Sabian Robles? All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Robles, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, the state filed a motion to amend the indictment to add a count 2 for an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
And we have no objections to that, Judge. We also waive the 48 hours passing for the indictment. Oh, it's not reading that, it's just amended. We have no objections, Judge.
All right. Mr. Robles, do you understand that that amendment to the indictment is a substantive change? Do you understand that? And do you understand your attorney has the legal right to have a chance to prepare for jury trial once there's a substantive change has been made to the indictment? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, knowing that, do you still wish to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and they have the complainant as Michael Villarreal.
That is true, Judge. That is the name of the complaint.
And we waive any potential conflict.
All right, and so I'm assuming that's not you, Mr. Villarreal.
It is not, and it is somebody that I am not related to by knowledge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Robles, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand with the amendment to the indictment, the state is proceeding on aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand? I'm sorry. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Robles, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 2 only. Punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. There are no applications, and there's to be no contact with Michael Villarreal. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to count two in the amended indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, state offer states exhibit number 1 and its attachments.
No objection, Judge.
Mr. Robles, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Judge. We just asked if you follow this plea agreement.
All right, what's wrong with you?
Give me what time.
I don't understand. When people go to the Bexar County Jail or they're in custody, people are just trying to serve their time. That doesn't give you any right to be a bully. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So again, I'm asking you, what is wrong with you? Why would you pick on someone?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever heard of the song Leroy Brown?
No, ma'am.
In those lyrics, Leroy Brown is the baddest man in the whole town. And you know what ends up happening to Leroy Brown?
No, ma'am.
He looked at the wife of a jealous man, and everybody was afraid of Leroy Brown. But then you know what they said at the end? That guy got in a fight with Leroy Brown, and Leroy Brown looked like jigsaw puzzle with many pieces gone. So when you bully people, guess what? There's always some bigger bully out there. There's always somebody else who can beat you. And I want you to realize people are just trying to live their life. They're hoping that they don't have to deal with nonsense from you and nonsense from other people at the jail. When people go to the Bexar County Jail, guess what? They're just there to serve their time. And we are not in a society of savages where people are supposed to go to the Bexar County Jail to get beat up and harassed. They're just there to serve their time. If we were living that type of society, guess what? We wouldn't have a jail. People would just handle their business on the street. And what you did to this individual with help from others was cowardly and it was wrong. Do you understand? How old are you?
18.
When are you going to get your life together? Because right now you're going downhill. No, it's not okay. You are going downhill. You're before me and you want me to give you 4 years for an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon when it really should be a sexual assault case because you want to do crazy things at the jail with inmates who are just trying to serve their time. And then you pick it on somebody I read in here who may be autistic. And then you're not even brave enough to do it yourself. You get other people to help you. And then you're saying someone told you to do it. And that's silly in and of itself. And now you're going to prison for 4 years. Do you want to be picked on in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to be picked on at the prison and bullied at the prison and beat up at the prison and maybe raped at the prison? Well, if I don't wish that on you, but if that happens to you, then you need to be thinking about what you did to this person. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are your parents?
He's has an adoptive mother, and I believe he's just recently had contact with his biological father.
And I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody. People come to me with sad stories all the time. At some point, your actions are your own. They're not to do with your past because everybody's had a hard life. I've had a hard life. I'm sure your attorney's had a hard life. State has had a hard life. People over in jail done had a hard life. So at some point, the actions that you take are your actions. And it's not because I'm from a broken home or I've been adopted or I went to foster care. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. 4 years prison, affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's a $1,500 fine. Time and money will not run concurrent. There's to be no contact with Michael Villarreal. I don't know how they're going to do that at the jail, but if you could make sure, I'm sure there's some kind of system, make sure he doesn't have any contact with him. And do you have any siblings? How would you like somebody doing that to them? Exactly. How would you like somebody doing that to your mom or your father? Exactly. You wouldn't want that. Is there anything else with sentencing?
He just has an NTR that I think we need to resolve with the court.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Ma'am.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and they're giving me the MTR.
Yes, sir. Does he need a trial court certification?
Yes.
Did you do one?
I did not.
Do you need the cause number? All right, thank you. And I'm unsure if they're going to have him register as a sex offender, but I do know that they do read the documents to make a determination on whether or not you should have to register as a sex offender. All right, Brenda, can you type a test for me because I don't see your real time? All right, thank you. Yes. All right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. See what
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 2310 State Texas versus Sabian Robles. Parties announced, please.
Michael Villarreal for the state.
Orlando Costa, for defense.
All right, and are you Sabian Robles? Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Sabian Anthony Robles who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 2310 for the offense of theft, 2,500 to 30,000 of a vehicle on April 13, 2021 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 40 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Sabian Anthony Robles, did then and there failed to report weekly to the supervision officer as directed for the weeks of May 9th, May 16th, May 23rd, May 30th, June 6th, June 13th, June 20th, June 27th, July 4th, July 11th, July 18th, and July 25th, 2022, in violation of condition number 40.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And state would waive the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading to the violation of condition number 40, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
No.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 40? Court will find violation of condition 40 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Agreements to grant the state motion, enter an adjudication of guilt, and assess punishment at 107 days confinement in the Bear County Jail pursuant to section 1244 of the Penal Code.
Is that the agreement?
It is, Judge.
Yeah, they did tell me that. That's been part of it.
Just a moment, Miss Embry.
Okay.
All right, are you asking the court to follow that agreement? Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, probation, was there any restitution in this case to Sierra Diaz? All right, no problem. I don't know if there was ever any, I know restitution was ordered, if any, but I don't know if there was ever any notice of restitution given by the complainant. All right. The court will follow your agreement, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 107 days in the Bear County Jail under 1244, give you credit for any time served. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
I'm showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Right.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe we can be excused.
Yes. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2642, State of Texas versus Vincent Ventura. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? It's a possession case.
He failed to appear.
Oh, your client didn't appear? All right, so we're gonna go on the record. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state, for the defense?
Jody Sawyers.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:24 a.m. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
My office contacted him and he at 9 o'clock-ish, when he didn't answer the docket. They said he'd be here in 20 minutes. I have texted him without response, told him that I would be leaving the court at 11. And that there would be a failure to appear / warrant issued if he didn't appear, and I have not received a response.
All right, Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for Mr. Ventura?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. He is outside.
All right, state.
Judge, we're asking that the bond be forfeited and a warrant issued.
All right, that'll be granted and he'll be remanded without bond. Thank you. Yes. All right, thank you. And Marcus, have you had a chance to speak with Kyle Simpson? Okay. All right, Norma, can you see where Mr. Simpson is?
I get you.
Thank you. All right, so Darren Doe's. All right, so what are
How
we-
you doing?
Good, how's everything going with you?
So far, so good. Well, you know, typical Monday, but other than that, so far, so good.
Don't say so far so good, because then that anticipates maybe things not going great.
Well,
So you're supposed to say, it's going great.
it's going great, Judge. I couldn't ask for anything more,
Yeah.
except for some amended conditions of bond.
Yeah, well, you can always ask for more. All right, is there a motion filed on this case?
Yes, ma'am, there is, Judge.
All right. I don't have the motion.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I've got one, but it's all written on, so you probably don't want mine.
So before I get the motion, what are you asking for?
Judge, essentially, we're asking for Mr. Does to be able to work. He has two different job opportunities. One is at a J&J Auto Body and Repair. Essentially there, he would be giving quotes or estimates and sanding down vehicles and.
All right, before we go on the record, Stay, are you gonna have any objections?
Yes.
All right. So the court is calling. He has two cases.
I think he's on, I think he's on full house arrest, and I could be wrong about that, but I think it's just on the one case.
All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 0493, State of Texas versus Darren Does. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Franco Villarreal, state.
For the
And Neil
defense?
Kalfas on behalf of Mr. Darren Does.
All right, off the record, just one moment. Mr. Simpson? All right, Ms. Embry, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2, and your attorney will join you in breakout room number 2. All right, we're back on the record. All right, so we're here for a motion to amend bond conditions.
Correct, Your Honor. Essentially, we're asking, Mr. Does is on bond. He's on full house arrest, GPS. Since his last release, he's completely complied with his conditions of bond. He spent a little bit of time in the Bexar County Jail, just considering his situation. I've spoken with the state and provided them with, I guess, a little bit of new information regarding this case. He was on bond on this case and then picked up a family violence assault. We had a hearing on that. And after the hearing, the state and I agreed on a bond, a rather large bond. Mr. Doze is on a substantial amount of bond right now, but he's essentially living at home with his mom. At the time of his arrest, he had a full-time job. He was doing well. He had his own apartment. Of course, he's lost those things now, but while on full house arrest, he has been seeking employment and has two different job opportunities. The first would be for JY and J Auto Body Shop located on Calabria Road. He'd like to be able to work from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., giving quotes, sanding vehicles, and picking up parts. The other job opportunity that he has is at a Mitsubishi dealership on San Pedro, same times from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday, selling vehicles. He's from San Antonio, has lived here his entire life, doesn't have a substantive criminal record, other than these obvious two cases, which are not good. But he has very defensible cases. Both of them are the victim in the family violence assault case that generated problems, the warrant on he was out on bond and working and doing well, and then picked up the family violence case. I think the stress, not making excuses, but just by reasonable explanation, the stress of the murder case and the situation probably got the best of him. He got into an argument with a woman he was involved in a relationship with, and he actually called the police, and then when the police arrived, he was the one that got arrested. She immediately came to my office, and I'll let the state speak to what she's told them, but I know from my vantage point, she probably regrets and wishes that she hadn't said some of the things that she said to the police that cost him to get arrested in the family violence case, which caused him the problems on the bond on this case that he stands before you now. Essentially, he's asking to be able to go to work, and he's asking to be able to go to religious services on Fridays at 2554 East Houston Street at a mosque, and to be able to attend religious services on Fridays from 12 noon to 3 p.m.
Okay, the religious services are going to be out.
They're gonna be what?
Out.
Okay.
I mean, so with religious services, I think you can do that on Zoom or however they do it now. And in my family, everybody was always big on go to services, but if you can't make it, you can read your Bible yourself, or you can read the Quran yourself. So religious services are out. State, what is your concern about his work schedule?
Judge, just based on the nature of the offense and the fact that, as Mr. Pappas has pointed out, he was arrested for new family violence offense while on bond for a family violence murder. Just the nature of the work itself, the obvious concern is that, fortunately, I feel like we've had a lot of people coming in who want to sell cars recently who are on bond GPS conditions. Is that work is not just at one location. There's multiple people coming in and out. Those jobs often require them to travel, not just to their job location, but if you're selling cars, and likely you're doing test driving and stuff. There's obvious, I think, concerns about where he is, what is he doing, is this within the nature and scope of his job? And so we are just based on the nature of the offense, the fact that he picked up another case on bond, and just the nature of the work. It's not something that we could come to an agreement on with the defense.
Right, wasn't he doing something with a banking or something beforehand?
He was, Judge.
So why isn't he not able to do something that is online again? Because that's what he was doing before. I remember him being on Zoom and he was working from his home.
He lost that job, Judge, unfortunately. And I don't want to make light. I mean, I text Mr. Villarreal on Friday, and I probably, both of his alleged offenses happened either in his house or the house of his brother. And so, you know, the bond conditions and bond is really meant to preserve the safety of the community. And if you are, you know, I mean,
So you're saying nobody should come over to his house?
well, that'd be impossible because he's living with somebody else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, I'm not trying to advocate against him. I'm trying to advocate for him. And I think that, you know, when you've got a person that, and it's not this court's issue, but I mean, everyone that is going through the magistrate's office right now ends up on full house arrest GPS, or almost everything. Even a drug dealer in the street that's dealing drugs from his house. And it's like, those are the people we ought to say, you can't go home and you need to go out and get a legitimate job and pay taxes and work like the rest of us. And so, you know, there should be some, I guess, for lack of a better word, like logic, or, I mean, he was at his brother's house when the murder allegedly occurred. And he was at his house when the assault allegedly occurred. And so it's not like he's going out and committing crimes out in the community. And so really, he's just asking for the opportunity to be able to go out and work and try to.
So I'm inclined to allow him to work, but he needs a place where, I mean, a job where that's his location. And it's not all of this movement, because at the auto body shop, you're saying it's from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. He's going to be sanding vehicles, but then he's going to be going to this location and that location. I have an issue with all the different locations. When I have people on GPS, what I do is I start them off slowly. Because once somebody's on GPS for a while, then what I've discovered ends up happening when I give them all these freedoms, they start taking advantage. Then they're going everywhere. So if he's able to find employment that doesn't require him to go to all these different locations, then the court would strongly consider allowing him to have employment while on GPS. And then if that goes well, then maybe he can have an employment that requires him to move to different locations. But he needs to get an employment where I'm at this location and my work schedule is 9 to 5. I'm not traveling here or traveling there. So bring that to me, and of course I will strongly consider it.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Well, the court, if we get a job at a specific location, and he's going to be at that location from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, and we put in the motion in the order, the contact person, the business, what he's going to be doing, the hours and the days, will the court, and we present it to the court, will the court sign it, or will the court want to have another hearing like?
We'll have a brief hearing, but if the state agrees to that, then we won't need to have a hearing. I'll sign it.
Fair enough.
But if the state doesn't agree to it, I want them to have a chance to put on the record the reason they don't agree.
Fair enough.
Okay. Is there anything else?
I think that's from the state.
Nothing from the
All right, so just bring that to the court and just let Ms. Ferguson know, and we'll put that on the docket ASAP.
All right, may I be excused?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Always good seeing you.
Thank you too, Judge.
All right, Cal Simpson, what is happening with Embry?
Judge,
Yes,
we've reached an agreement. Sorry, I thought I was on mute. Reached an agreement for 1244. I don't know if we have time to do paperwork now, but I could come back after lunch if you'd like.
all right, if you can all start on the paperwork, then we'll get it done today. And before
You want me
noon.
to come back after lunch,
No,
before noon?
we can get it done before noon if all the paperwork. Who is the prosecutor on Embry?
I think Marcus is, but I just texted Ryan.
Okay, he said that he'll accept the agreement.
Okay, we'll start the paperwork.
All right, thank you.
Well, there were two options, Judge. One of the options was the JSAT on the 1244, and the other one was Esperanza referral, but she wants to do the JSAT on the 1244.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Marcus.
You're welcome. And
I'll stand by, Judge.
all right, I'm going to send you all to a breakout room. I'll send you all to breakout room number 1 so you can go over the paperwork. And Ms.
Thanks.
Ferguson, on Kyle Simpson, I need a consent to appear by video and a trial court certification. All right, thank you. Who's here on Sherry Cooper? Yeah, on this one, but Sherry Cooper is different.
Okay, who was it speaking on?
Oh.
It's the same attorney on the other one.
Okay.
The other cases.
Okay. And Melissa Carlson, is she in custody?
She's on bond.
All right, Ms. Carlson. And you can go ahead and do that, and I'll give her reset form.
Carlson?
If you come forward. Your attorney is not able to be present today. So we're gonna have you come back on the 25th. And I'm gonna need you to sign this reset form that I'm gonna give you. All right, I'll need you to sign your name at the top where it says defendant.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, they haven't gone to hang you. Sure. Okay, will do. Yes. Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome. And is Sherry Cooper in custody?
Yes.
All right, she can go back. Can you let her know her attorney had a medical emergency or a family emergency? And she'll be back on the 25th. Okay, there's enough. You're welcome. Court is calling 2019 CR 11182, State of Texas versus Nicholas Gonzalez. That party's approach. And announce for the record for the state, for the defense.
Joe Stenberg.
And are you Mr. Gonzalez? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Nicholas Paul Gonzalez who was placed on community supervision in 2019 CR 11182 for the offense of harassment of public servant on June 12th, 2020 for a term of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Just a moment.
I misplaced the paper, so.
That's okay. You can use mine if you wish. And Mr. Stenberg, you're supposed to be on this side.
Maybe I have.
Okay, condition number 20, on or about the 10th day of June 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Nicholas Paul Gonzalez failed to attend evaluation for mental health initiative in violation of condition number. Sorry, Judge, I'll waive that one. Condition number 22, on or about the 17th day of May 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Nicholas Paul Gonzalez did then and there fail to acquire the GPS device in violation of condition number 22.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? Mr. Gonzalez, how do you plead to that? True or not true?
We'll waive the others.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Gonzalez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 22, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 5 years in prison and up to a $500 fine? Did you understand?
What was it?
Did you understand by pleading true to violation 22, the court could find it true, grant the motion and sentence you up to 5 years in prison and up to a $500 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation 22?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition 22 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes.
We do, Judge, if I can have a moment. Okay, Judge. We do have an agreement. We're asking that you deny the MTR. That you offer them in for bi-monthly reporting for 6 months. A cap evaluation with a compliance hearing in 4 months. And the IVR call line every day for 6 months.
All right, is that the agreement?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, what is your issue? Why are you not doing what you need to do?
I've been having problems with work a little bit here and there, and I keep finding work outside of the city. I figured my best strategy would be to just find work here in the city and stop trying to find work outside of the city. Yes.
Why did it take you so long to come to that conclusion?
I'm hard-headed, man, but I agree. I'll not be hard-headed anymore.
All right, because here's the thing. If you want to work outside the city
Yes.
and not do your conditions of probation, you can work outside the city, but it'll be after you go to prison.
I hear you, man.
So those are choices.
I hear
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And every choice you make has a consequence. And one of those consequences could be you going to prison for 5 years.
I hear you.
All right, so what is happening with the MIC mile? The MIC evaluation, was that completed for him? Because that was ordered.
Well, I told him that all prior conditions are still there.
Yes. And I'm just trying to see if he's on the MIC caseload or not. Do you know if an evaluation was done?
I think he failed to report. That was that condition number 1.
All right, so here's the thing, you're not attending anything. What's the wait time for him to be seen and evaluated for MIC while in custody? All right, you're gonna remain in custody for your MIC evaluation, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
How long does that take?
she said September. Yes, September 12th, that's when they'll do the evaluation. So they're gonna do your evaluation on September 12th. I tried to let you get the evaluation done out of custody, but you're not following through, you understand?
So I have, so September.
September 12th,
Or
probation will come over and see you and they'll do the MIC evaluation. And once that MIC evaluation is done, when they come and see you and interview you, then you can be released from custody, okay?
all right.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you taking any type of medications while you're at the jail?
No, ma'am.
Are you seeing any doctors for mental health issues at the jail?
No, ma'am.
All right, because I see in his file that there was a previously competency evaluation. So I'm gonna want that MIC evaluation done. That may be some of the issues of why he's not thinking things through and making good decisions. All right, so
We have a compliance hearing in 4 months.
no. This is the hearing right now. There's not gonna be a coming back for compliance hearing.
Okay, well, that was. what we
You all
read.
want a compliance hearing?
Judge, if you don't feel that we need one, then.
I mean, I'll set it for a compliance hearing.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're gonna do is alternate amend conditions to include a MIC evaluation while in custody. Once that evaluation is completed, then he's to be released. We're gonna do the UA hotline until further notice. We're gonna do weekly reporting until further notice, and that will be by Zoom or either in person. Are you able to Zoom?
I will. I'll need to get a new phone as soon as I get free now.
All right, and here's the thing though, I understand that when people come before a judge, they're just agreeing to everything because they're so glad they're not going to prison. But don't agree to things that you can't do. For example, you need to get a job. So maybe your first thing is not getting a phone because that costs money. You understand? So it's okay if you can't do it by Zoom, just let us know, then you'll have to do it in person. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if there's any issue with what I'm asking you to do, you need to let me know because I'm gonna be expecting you to do it. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, I'm not sure if the TAP was never done or if they need a new one, but it looks like the officer was requesting a new TAP evaluation.
All right, so we'll do a TAP evaluation. What is the time on the TAP evaluation? 3 weeks, so it'll be around the same time then. All right, so we'll do TAP evaluation while in custody. So what we're gonna do is, I'm not going to do we're gonna hold off on the UA hotline. And we're gonna hold off on the weekly reporting because we're gonna set it for compliance hearing. And at that time, I'll give you the conditions because I need to see what that TAP evaluation is gonna say. So what I'm gonna do is alternate amend conditions to include the MIC evaluation while in custody. We're gonna do the TAP evaluation while in custody as well. And then you should probably be released on September 14th. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set your compliance hearing. How long would it take them to write everything once they see him?
Here's the issue. The first part of the mental health evaluation is completed
Mhm.
and he qualifies, they have to do it with Tacony, which is gonna be far off, probably like 6 to 8 weeks.
for Tacomi's part of it.
Okay, but the TAP evaluation?
The top evaluation probably would take about a week to write everything up and get it to us.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. MIC evaluation while in custody, TAP evaluation while in custody. We're gonna do the weekly reporting until further notice. And we're gonna do the UA hotline until further notice.
Is that the same thing as IVR call?
Yes. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a compliance hearing for the week of September 26th?
Yeah.
And we're gonna do, and I'm gonna want a field visit before he comes back to court. All right, so what date? The week of September 26th, a compliance hearing for him.
I can do it the 26th.
All right, so we're gonna come back on September 26th for a compliance hearing to see how you're doing, okay? All right, and they're gonna need a reset form.
Yes.
All right, who are the parties on Rudy Martinez?
I haven't had a chance to look at
Okay, sure. Hello,
Approach.
yes.
Christopher Gibbons on the docket this morning.
Mhm.
I got a message from his mother. He's got diarrhea, mom, sick.
So is he at the hospital?
He's at home in bed. Mom said he couldn't get out of bed. Do
I
we
mean, I
want
need
to-
something. So we'll come back at this afternoon. So they need to give me something other than just his mom saying
Okay.
yes. And he can always appear by Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, just get the Zoom number from Ms. Ferguson.
Okay. I've got to do a plea at 1:30 to 2:27.
Oh,
Have them log on and just wait.
Yes.
I'll do that.
Sure.
That'll work.
Yeah.
All right, who's here on John Garcia?
Your Honor,
All right, and where's John Garcia?
I don't know.
All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 6394, State of Texas versus John Albert Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
For the defense? All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:57 a.m. Defense, where is your client?
I have not been able to contact my client.
Deputy Laura, can you see if Mr. Garcia is outside the courtroom?
He is not outside.
All right, state.
Your Honor, the state moves for a bond forfeiture. So warrant to issue the defense.
All right, that'll be granted and your client will be remanded without bond. If you've made contact with your client and he presents himself, then the court will reconsider.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
There's a paperwork for trials, client. I need to get an email.
Oh, she's at the Bexar County Jail.
Okay.
Yes. And I think there's some iPad or thing they use at the jail. Yes. Yes. 2. All right, so everyone, the court is taking its lunch break at noon. Mr. McCrum, I'll take up your matter, and I'm going to take the last matter I'm going to take up is the matter for Mr. Simpson.
You talking about now or after lunch?
We can do it now if you all are
I
prepared.
don't think they are.
We're not judge.
Okay, so we'll come back at 2 then.
Judge, I've got a federal setting, can I be here possibly 3, I don't think earlier than 3.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so everyone, the court is on lunch break. All right, Ms. Ferguson, you have the email for the jail for him to send over paperwork to Ms. Embry? Yes.
She told you.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm Brandon Wright, please. Just give me a moment. Brandon Wright.
Please have to check on my guy on Zoom since he's on Zoom.
All right, so state on Brandon Wright, have you tendered an offer?
Judge. They just filed the new at-large case with the additional case. I'm trying to get Miguel to pull. Now that we have a case number, I'm trying to pull those reports to tender to Mr. Bond. At this point, I'm not comfortable making an offer without seeing those reports and knowing what the specific allegations are.
All right, and what is the new case?
It's another indecency with a child life. I should say, no, it is.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Wright?
September 19th.
All right, we're gonna come back on September 19th. That's your last discovery date, and you need to be prepared to tender an offer to the defense.
Yes, Judge, I'm waiting for Miguel, and as soon as I get it from Miguel, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Bond.
All right, Mr. Wright, you're gonna be back on September 19th, and you're allowed to appear by Zoom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You're excused.
Thank you.
And everyone else, the court is on at recess, so we'll be back at this afternoon at 1:30. All right, who's that asleep on the front row? Is he conscious?
Not mine.
Deputy Laura, Deputy Mia, is he conscious?
Yeah. There's a waiver here.
Okay.
Just hanging me back by 1:30 seconds. Hey, Joshua, 1:30. Your prosecutor's not here, so I gotta get him back.
Okay, everyone, we're on lunch break. With the exception of this one case.
I've got a prisoner that they'll bring him back. It's just a discovery matter that we're still arguing about parole records.
Yes, they'll bring him back.
1:30.
Have you been able to get the paperwork?
No, ma'am. I'm still waiting on the email for the jail iPad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I took it at training for God.
In theory, there'd be.
I can go do it again.
I'll tell you what. I'm like, no, I'm waiting for you to finish.
He's gotta do the training.
He's harassing.
All right, Deputy Laura. So we're gonna need Javier Velasco back. Ruben Rodriguez. Omar Kalonga.
I'm President Omar Kalonga.
Oh, yes, I know, he's coming back. Sean Branch. Ian Trevino. Oh, I don't know why I have that checked off. And yep, that will be, oh, that will be all. And we're hoping to do this plea, and then she won't have to come back.
I just sent you a text. I'm going through 1:30. See, I don't know your channel.
He's here.
Huh?
He said he's here.
Oh.
Yes, that's really fun. Jonathan Ross.
Wait. And then the last one.
And Lupe, don't you need to sign in from the back to swear her in? Hi. Yes.
Judge, I had thought that you filed a motion for continuance yesterday. We're having problems with e-filing, but I was gonna file a written motion. It's being walked over here
Okay.
for the afternoon hearing, so you can review it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Your Honor. Yeah. I'm filing it. So that's my.
The records you haven't gotten them yet. Okay, okay. So we'll tell her that at 1:30.
No, we're not done. We're taking up one more case and then everybody else comes back in the afternoon.
Can we discuss RC Curtis at some point this afternoon or whenever you have just a second?
Sure.
I'm not sure where we are on that.
Okay.
All right, so I'll be back at 1:30.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yes.
No, let's. I'll bring you in.
How you doing? Good.
Hello.
We're gonna eat. Candy? At HEB? For what, pizza? No.
All right, have they finished with their paperwork?
No, not yet, Judge. I'm missing the tip and pre-margin.
All right, well,
I got everything else set that.
all right, well, we're gonna,
In and out.
all right, well, we're gonna take our break then,
Yeah.
since they're not ready.
No, I'll sure, man.
Norma, we're gonna be back at 2. And so if you can have Miss Embry ordered back at 2.